Exercise, the first question. In a cricket match, a batswoman hits a boundary 6 times out of the 30 ball she plays. Now she is playing total 30 balls, out of which 6 times she is hitting boundary. So find the probability she did not hit a boundary. So I have written the data here. Total number of balls played by her is 30. Number of balls which she has hit boundary, that is 6. So not hit boundary will be 30 minus 6 is 24. But I don't think this is important to write. You can write in this way. Okay. So let A be the event that the batswoman has hit the boundary. Please see how I'm up. Okay. So I've written the full statement. Let A be the event that the batswoman has hit a boundary. So P of A will be equal to number of trials divided by total number of balls played by her. So number of trials was 6 upon 30, right? So you can see that 6 times she has hit the boundary and out of 30 balls. So here we will get P of A is 6 upon 30. As A dash is the complementary event, okay, or A bar is a complementary event. So A bar is the event when she did not hit a boundary. So P of A bar, we will use the formula of complementary event, will be 1 minus P of A. So this will be 1 minus 6 upon 30, okay. So that will be 30 minus 6 upon 30, which is equal to 24 upon 30, right? So this is or you could have written directly also, okay, let A be the event that the batswoman did not hit a boundary. So how many times she has not hit the boundary? So that is 30 minus 6 is 24. So directly in one statement you could have got P of A is 24 by 30. So the main answer is 24 by 30. Okay. Let us do few examples oral. 1500 families are there with 2 children, but selected randomly and the following data is recorded. Okay. Now number of girls in a family. Out of total 1500 families, 475 families are there with 2 daughters. Okay, that means 2 girls. 814 families have only 1 daughter. And 211 families have 0 daughters, means they can be both sons. Compute the probability so that the family chosen at random have 2 daughters. So 2 daughters, how many families are having? 475. So the answer will be 475 upon 1500. Same way, having 1 girl, so it will be 814 upon 1500. No girl, so it will be 211 upon 1500. But we will have to write down each event systematically. Okay, so I'll show you how to. Now you see how it is written. You have to start it in this way. Total possible outcomes is the number of families. So that was total families 1500. Now you have to name every event separately. For example, let A be the event that the family chosen at random are having 2 sons, or 2 girls. So P of A will be 475 by 1500. You can again factorize it if you are getting the common factor out. So you will be getting 19 upon 16. Same way, let B be the event that the family chosen are having 1 girl. So here it will be 814 upon 1500, which is 407 by 750. Same way, let C be the event that the family chosen have no girl. So P of C will be 211 by 1500 as it is. Okay, if you don't have any common factor. So this is the exact way how to write it with statement. Now this is our next question. This example is given in chapter number 14. From this we need to find out the probability. In a class of 9th standard, 40 students were asked to find out their months of their birth, and following graph was prepared. So you can see in January there are 3 students like that. Number of students are given. In February there are 4 students having birthdays in the month of February. March to April to. In this way whole data is given to you. The question is, find the probability that a student is born in the month of August. So first of all, from the graph we will find out where is August. So this is August, right? In this August, if we find, okay, with the help of scale, okay, it will coincide which line, okay? So it is coming up to 6. So that means there are 6 students out of total 40 students. So total possible outcomes will be 40, and 6 students are getting their birthdays in the month of August. So probability of the children born in the month of August will be 6 divided by 40. I hope the concept is now clear. New question. Question number 4. 3 coins are tossed simultaneously 200 times, right, with the following frequencies of different outcomes. So we are getting out of 200 times, 23 times I got 3 heads, because it is quite obvious 3 coins are tossed, so I may get H. 72 times I got 2 heads. 77 times I got 1 head. 1 head means it will be having 2 tails. And 28 times no head, that means 3 tails. Now if 3 coins are simultaneously tossed, again compute the probability of getting 2 heads. So we will learn it orally. So the probability will be 72. You can see the frequency of 2 head is 72, and that is why the answer is 72 upon the total possible outcome, that is 200. So let us write it. So this is the way we will write here: total possible outcomes, which is 200. Let A be the event of getting 2 heads. So P of A is 72 by 200, which is 9 by 25. Now this is our new question. An organization selected 2,400 families. So if we do the total of all these frequencies, the answer is 2,400. So the very first step will be total possible outcome is equal to 2,400. Okay. Now you can see here, if the monthly income of the family is less than 7,000, so how many families are there with 0 vehicles, 1 vehicle, 2 vehicle, or about to? So there are 10 families having no vehicle at all. Same way, 160 families having 1 vehicle. Okay, 25 families having 2 vehicles. Like this, looking at the table, we'll answer these questions. So the first question is, what is the probability that the family chosen is earning 10,000 to 13,000? So we will see this column, 10,000 to 13,000, and they are owning exactly 2 vehicles. So in this column of 2 vehicles, the number is 29, right? So the probability will be 29 upon 2,400. Same way, earning 16,000 or more per month and having only 1 vehicle. So let B be the probability, let B be the event that the family is earning 16,000 or more. So we will get the last column here, right? And they have exactly 1 vehicle. So you can see the number is 579. So the answer will be 579 upon 2,400. Same way you can solve the rest of the sum. So we will write it stepwise. Now you can see we have written stepwise. A be the family earning 10,000 to 13,000 having 2 vehicles. So we had seen earlier it is 29 by 2,400. Same way, B is the event when you have 16,000 as monthly income having 1 vehicle. So you can see again 16,000 okay or more as a monthly income having only 1 vehicle is 579. So the answer is 579 by 2,400. Same way, C is the event earning less than 7,000 rupees, right? And does not owing any vehicle, that means 0 vehicles. So less than 7,000 rupees, 0 vehicle will be 10. So 10 upon 2,400, which is 1 upon 240. B, the family is earning 13,000 to 16,000 and they have 2 vehicles. So again you can see 13,000 to 16,000 having 2 vehicles. So it is equal to 59. So it will be equal to 59 upon 20. It is more than 2 vehicles. So it will be 25 upon 2,400, right? The last question is something different. Here it is not given what is the monthly income of the family. So it is just given owing not more than 1 vehicle. So that means all these families will come under this category. So not more than 1 vehicle means either they can have 1 vehicle or 0 vehicle. So we will add 10 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 160 plus 305 plus 535 plus 469 plus 579. So this also we have done. We will be getting P of E as addition of all these numbers divided by 2,400. So it will be 2,062 by 2,400, which is 1,031 by 1,200. Now this is our new question. These are the marks obtained by 90 students of our class, right? So these are the marks obtained in a mathematics test. You can see total there are 90 students. So we can say total possible outcomes will be equal to 90, right? Second is, it is given 7 students are getting marks from 0 to 20. That means below 20, right? 10 students are getting from 20 to 30. That means it can be 20, 21, 22 up to 29. We don't have to consider the upper limit, right? Same way, 10 students are getting from 30 to 39 marks. That means 40 is not included. In this way, you can read out the table. So our question is, find the probability that the student has secured less than 20% marks. So less than 20% will be first column, and if you see the frequency is 7. So we will be getting answer 7 upon 90. So we will be writing in this way. Let A be the event that the student is obtaining less than 20% marks in the test. So P of A will be equal to 7 divided by 90. Same with the second question is, what is the probability that student is securing 60 marks or above? Now 60 marks or above means we can say it can be 70 or above also, right? Because if a student is securing 80 or 90 marks, it will be considered to be more than 60. So you can see the frequencies here are 15 and 8. So we will add both the frequency, and so we will get P of B is equal to 15 plus 8 by 90, which is 23 by 90. So this is our answer. Now we have very simple questions in this exercise. We are being given a table which is actually a survey of 200 students. Now what is their opinion? Out of 200 students, 135 students like statistics, but 65 do not like statistics. So the question is, find the probability that the student chosen at random likes statistics. So obviously the answer will be 135 by 200, and does not like that, so it will be 65 by 200. So I have written the statement, let A be the event that the student chosen likes statistics. So the answer was 135 divided by 200. Same way, a student who is chosen does not like statistics, so it will be 65 divided by 200. Later on you can convert it into the decimal form. Okay, so like this we can solve many. Now this is our next question. This is the data of 40 engineers which are residing at this distance from the workplace in kilometers. That means the first one is living 5 kilometers away from the workplace, second one is living 3 kilometers. The first question in probability chapter is, what is the probability that the engineer is living at a distance of less than 7 kilometers from one workplace? So you can just put this first. Okay, you can see it is less than 7 kilometers. 1, 2. Let us count how many are there. So in the first line we have only 2 observations. In the second line, if you can see, here we have 2. So third observation. We don't have to consider 7. The word was less than 7. So 1, 2, 3 we got. Then let us see the third line. 4, 5, 6. Right? Then you have 7, okay, 8 and 9. So total there are 9 engineers who are residing at a distance less than 7 kilometers. So the answer will be 9 divided by 40. So this is what I have written. The total possible outcome is 40. Let A be the event that the engineer lives at a distance less than 7 kilometers from one place. So it will be 9 upon 40. Now in the same one we have another question. What is the probability that the engineer is residing more than or equal to 7 kilometers? So it is quite obvious. We have total 40 observations. Out of 49 were residing below, or we can say less than 7 kilometers. So 40 minus 9 will be 31. So the next answer will be 31. So here I have written the second one. B is the event that the engineer lives at a distance more than 7 kilometers or equal to 7. So P of B will be 31 by 40. And the last one is, what is the probability that the engineer is residing within half kilometer? You can see it is not even 1 kilometer. So half kilometer is not possible. And so the answer is 0 by 40.